Hello, hello. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this next one of the webinar series we're organizing here at Ventrata. Uh, my name is Dominic Martinkevic. I'm head of partnerships, and I'm excited to welcome you to the Satisfi and Ventrata joint webinar we're organizing today. Today's session is all about AI-powered conversational ticketing and how it can transform the way how your guests discover, book, and pay for their experiences right inside of the chat. No extra clicks, no bouncing between the pages, just a smooth journey from the questions to purchase. And I'm very, very excited that today we'll be showing you the integration between Ventrata and our connectivity partner, Satisfi Labs, how that works, and most importantly, what it means for you as an operator, whether you're looking to boost your sales, reduce drop-offs, or just in general, deliver a better and more up-to-date experience for your guests. Before we get started, and I welcome our guest speaker here, a few of the housekeeping items. If you do have any questions or comments as we go through this webinar, there is a comments section on the webinar link that you might be joining through, as well as on LinkedIn. So if you're watching us on LinkedIn live, there is also a comment section there. Just drop your comments or questions there. We do see them live, and we'll be addressing them at the end. We are also live on LinkedIn, so feel free to reshare this. It will be available as a recording. So if you want to share this with your network, with your colleagues, you're more than welcome to. And yes, for those of you who registered through the link, the recording will be available to you later as well to rewatch. So don't worry about taking notes. Recording will be in your inbox right after this session. And with that, let me welcome our guest speaker to the stage today. Dan. Dan is head of tourism at Satisfi Labs. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Dominic. We're really excited about the partnership and being able to talk about this today.
Yeah, likewise. We've been working with you on integration for a couple of months now, and I was very excited to see it go live with one of our clients recently, and I'm even more excited to showcase it to the broader Ventrata user audience. So maybe with that, Dan, I'll hand this over to you. I know you have a couple of slides with the introduction on Satisfi Labs. Let's do a quick recap on what you guys do and how you can help Ventrata users.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thanks. I want to briefly just tell you a little bit about who we are. There's a ton of noise out there when you talk about AI right now. And some of us have been doing this for a long time and have extensive expertise in agents as well as integrations. So I'm going to run through a couple slides, tell you about who we are, what we've done, show you a little bit of the integration between, and then Dominic and I are going to have a little conversation, maybe answer some questions, and then hopefully you out there have some questions too, and we can address this. So Satisfi Labs, we started in 2016. So in the AI world, as far as setting up agents and virtual assistants, we are ancient. We have over 775 clients at this time and have deployed over 2,500 agents within the last 9 years. Now we show this to try to prove that we have the experience in this, and also want to show you who some of our backers are. We're not going anywhere. You see there's some very noticeable logos there. Major League Baseball sits on our board of directors. We are the preferred provider for, I think, 27 of the Major League Baseball teams. Google sits on our board of directors and has invested in the company quite early on. But more importantly, more than half of these logos that you see started as clients. They loved and trusted our tech so much that they invested in the company. So I just like to share that, as especially right now. I think I work for an AI company and I must get 50 emails a day trying to sell me some sort of AI technology. We know what we're doing. We've been doing this for a while. Now, we have over 775 clients, all on the experience side of things, with sports, live entertainment, but specifically tourism. We have over 150 attractions and destinations. I think that's important because if you're a Ventrata client, you're an attraction, things to do, a tour company. We have clients that look just like you. We see millions of questions a year that you're probably getting or would get within our system. So we have the experience. We know what we're doing. We also do destinations, which is cool because we can drive traffic back and forth. So if you're in one of the cities where we have a DMO client there and someone's asking about what to do or tours in that destination, we can use our system to use what we call chat and chat. And it's where really the back ends are connected to where your agent can actually jump into that conversation and drive a little traffic to the attraction. Now, why is talking to your customers important? I think we all know that from like the human experience, but more and more right now, it's about how you do this digitally. What people are asking, what they're looking for, what are the results, what are the key results that you're going to try to get to within having a ticketing agent. Increase sales, drive conversions, enhance the guest experience, scale your customer support. And probably what I think is the most important thing is learn from all these conversations, grab analytics and data on the back end so you can optimize the system, optimize your internal process and efficiency for the best outcome of the business. Now, general pain points and needs is 24/7 customer service, multilingual. Sorry, slides jumping around a little bit. People don't read now. So having big websites, it's a lot of information, but putting together an agent that can actually jump in, answer those questions, exactly what I want to know, and then drive me to the result that you're trying to get, which would be ticket sales or in higher conversion rates. Now, we are moving more into like an agentic platform. And what that means is that these agents will actually have action to them. They're tied to key results. You want to increase ticket sales? You want to increase conversion? The ticket sales agent is going to do that just like you would if you were hiring a human sales agent. We want to make sure that we're delivering measurable outcomes for that agent. And that's where this Ventrata integration comes in. It handles and will maximize the ticket conversion rate, dropping the friction, enabling complete ticket purchase inside of the chat in a digital way. Now, I can ask a question about, I have a 3-year-old at home, about can I bring my stroller or can I bring outside food? By giving me those answers right away from a guest service agent side of things, and then being able to say, now I think that you're ready to buy, and then dumping you into the ticket agent sales, that not only increases conversion rate, but drives revenue. Now, I'm going to show you just some examples of how the ticket sales agent mirrors real conversations. Very few people just know exactly what they want and that they can actually, they pick up the phone and go, I want to buy this particular type of ticket. They have questions. I'm in Vienna this weekend with my family. What would you recommend I book? Now, it's pulling information from the system. It's going to give multiple recommendations. In this case, it's talking about different packaged experiences. And then it's going to say, all right, now that I know what I want, here's what's included. And then it's going to start making its way to get me to purchase. It's pulling up availability, the inclusions, the exclusions, and it's going to then fill in the blanks of what the information that you didn't give me. Knowing that instead of picking from a calendar and just asking me what day I want to take this tour, knows that it's Sunday, it's instantly going to then start to convert me. Now, if you see that most people do these days have on their device some saved information, This is cutting the friction out of the process. You're not just filling a form out, you're moving through a conversational way and the quickest way to then purchase this ticket. I'm going to show you another example. What's the best value tour? Very relevant question. If I'm traveling and I'm traveling on a budget, it's going to pull up, again, some examples and then dump me directly into this buying flow. One of the things that it does is it's actually checking the rule sets. I'm asking a question right now of a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. Do I have to buy tickets for both of them? It's checking the rule set. It's going to come back and actually tell me that under 5, I don't have to. I have to buy a child ticket for 5 to 15. Now I know I'm ready to buy now, and it's going to dump me directly into that flow. Similar to what a human would do if you were to call and actually speak to a ticketing agent. All this does is it reduces the amount of friction. It gives people what they want, which is quick, digitally answered questions, and then gets them to purchase. Now, I know Dom and I talked about some things that people might want to know. And I have this because I don't know what you guys are going to ask. We know that what we do, and I used to be a tour operator, so I have a good idea of what customers want to know beforehand. But we thought of some back and forth conversation might be helpful.
Yeah, of course. And by the way, again, a reminder for everyone, there is comments section, both if you're watching us through the link or on LinkedIn live. So we do see your comments. If any questions are there, just drop them in there and we will see them right away. But yeah, first things first, Dan, great presentation. I specifically loved the Big Bus Jena example there live using the data from the Ventrata API. So I think my first question is kind of in general about the conversational ticketing. You guys are the experts there. I guess what would be interesting to understand, what really does make conversational ticketing so different from, let's say, a regular web checkout? Because we look at the industry, right? Tourist activities attraction now. Literally, the web checkout product is something that every rest tech, every ticketing system, every booking platform offers. Today, we at Ventrata offer probably 3 or 4 ways how you can integrate that into your website. But right, so like in your experience, what makes conversational ticketing, right, doing that purchase flow exactly in the chat, like what you guys power, what makes a difference for the guest experience? What are the key things that different, and maybe you have some data on the results that can drive?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that we've been trying to efficiently optimize the web checkout experience since digitalized the ticket systems started back in, 20 years ago. The more steps that you have, the more abandoned carts that you have. And by doing it in a conversational way of, I can start to fill out some of this process by having a conversation. It doesn't feel like you're filling out a 9, 10, 11 step checkout format. What that does is it lowers the abandoned cart rates. It drives up conversion rates. Think about, who's really good at this is like e-commerce. Recently, if you've been on Instagram or Facebook or any of the social media sites, you can buy something with like 2 clicks now. You see a sweater and you're like, that's great. I like it. It looks cool. Oh, I just bought it. Now that drives their conversion rates. It takes the friction out of the process. And the reason they do that is because the more steps that you have, the more time you have to rethink your decision. So by having a conversation, and if I'm asking questions about the discovery, what am I going to see? What am I going to do? And then that moves into, oh yeah, it's my wife, my child, and I don't have to then go in and say, oh, I need 2 adult tickets. I need 1 child ticket. You're just reducing the friction. You're giving me less time to rethink my decision here. And with that, we've seen up to and as high as 15 to 20% increase in conversion rates when done this way. That's just a fact. The less friction that you have, the more likely people are to buy.
Awesome. Got it. The interesting, something interesting you mentioned at the beginning, you talked about kind of the cart abandonment, right? You mentioned that. And that is, I think, in general, like drop-offs, cart abandonment, it's an interesting topic as well, because it is obviously something that's anyone in charge of e-commerce, web checkouts, closely monitors and kind of, right. It is a kind of biggest pain point, right? Do you guys do anything specific in Satisfi Labs? How do you guys kind of deal with drop-offs and cart abandonment when the cart is in the chat interface?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and I think that more importantly, optimizing the front end experience by grabbing as much data that you can by what people are asking when they drop and having analytics behind it really gives you the opportunity to streamline the front end of that. You'll never be able to control when someone like loses interest or dumps out, but if you can optimize the system by knowing what people are asking, when they jump directly into that flow, how they get there, and then taking that from like a data and analytics side and going, how do we make this better? That's where Satisfi Labs excels. We look at the data that comes in. We see millions and millions of questions a year. In the attractions and activities space, the number one topic people are asking about is tickets. But the funny thing is they generally ask some sort of customer service related question first. So by knowing that, we can set things up. The two agents can work together and then know when to pass off into that ticketing flow. By just doing that and then like understanding what people are asking and how they're asking and when they're asking, we can optimize the system to then convert at a much higher rate.
So let's talk about that a little bit more, because even in the demo, I've noticed, right, there was a couple of interesting questions there. Like, of course, I was very interested to see how you handled the parts where you were using the Ventrata data, because I think there were questions when the guest was checking availability, right, the price, all of that, and leading to that the actual purchase there. But beyond the ticket sales, I saw there were like the first question was, right, like what were the things to do in Vienna, right? What are maybe beyond just the ticket sale? What are overall the different scenarios or use cases that you guys see in tourism activities, attraction space, or maybe other verticals where you work, where AI agents can play a role in supporting guests?
Generally, people don't know what they want. And it's just true.
That's true.
They know that,
true.
I'm going to be in Vienna. I want to do something. I want to sightsee. I don't know what I'm going to see, and I'm not exactly sure what I want. And by knowing that point, we can make suggestions to then drive them to, again, getting into like the key results of like what we want. And in that scenario, Big Bus having multiple ticket types, having combination tickets that include other attractions and activities, and then even like laying the groundwork to then upselling later on if you end up only going with, let's say, a general one-day sightseeing ticket. Well, I know that all this other stuff's available, and it gives us opportunities to then go back after the fact in a post-purchase to then increase ancillary revenue. People don't, I look at it like always like going to a restaurant. You ever been to a restaurant that has like a massive menu, right? Like our tour companies in these cities are massive menus. There's so many things to do. How do we guide them in a way that helps the process? And then from a business standpoint, really drive them to buy what we want them to buy, which could be a couple different things, right? Based on filling shoulder times or pushing higher priced tickets, ancillary sales, if there's retail opportunities. All of that can be done using a system like what we have and an integration like you guys have. But it's our job to actually like move the customer along the process without them feeling like they're being moved through the process. That's the pure magic of the digital, the conversational experience.
And I want to kind of shift the topic a little bit more to the implementation part, because right, like being myself on the connectivity team previously, I've seen that it can vary drastically, right? There are partners where you can go live very quickly. There are partners where, maybe like, connecting a single product takes sometimes weeks or months. Let's say if there's someone in our audience, right, a Ventrata client, listening to this, they're interested in using solution from Satisfi Labs. What does that process look like? Like, where do they get started, and how long does it typically take in your experience from the moment when they sign a contract with you guys to when they can add Satisfi Labs on their website and start making bookings this way? What does that process look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, you hit this QR code and you schedule a live demo with someone on the Satisfi Labs team. Or you talk to your Ventrata customer success person and say, hey, I'm very interested in this, and they can set up a talk with us. But once you sign the contract, it's actually a pretty simple process to get the first guest experience agent up. We start building a knowledge volume. It generally takes within 30 days. And most of that process, honestly, is Q&A process, making sure that we have the tone of the brand right, the colors, the feel. You won't know it's Satisfi Labs. It's going to be you. You notice in that Big Bus example, everything about it was Big Bus. It's the language that they use. It's the colors, the scheming, the branding. That takes a little bit of time at the get-go. It's generally a couple weeks. Then from there, with integration, getting that up and live. Now, I'll be very honest, it took a long time for us to actually finish this integration with you guys. And it wasn't you, we were doing something that hadn't been done on the attraction side of things. Using the large language model to actually make the API calls and fill in behind the scenes to reduce that friction took some time to figure out. But now that we have it done, we know that we can scale and get these ticketing agents up live. With the first one up and ready right now, we've got another 27 locations and 3 or 4 other companies already in the process of being built. But we should have something up and live on the site to start collecting data, to start knowing what people are asking you and stepping in front of some of the friction that you might have within a 30-day period.
That's an interesting point you mentioned also at the end, and I remember you covered this at Ventrata Open as well, right? There is this also element of like learning teaching the agents about giving them knowledge about the product. So of course there's lots of data that's able to get from Ventrata's API, but a lot more also just kind of gets collected over time, right?
Yeah, you have to understand like what people are asking you and how users are going to use the tool. Now, looking at like the ticketing agent itself, there's a couple different versions that we're going to deploy, which is one, it can live on the website and help convert on the website, but also using simple tech like QR codes. You can have walk-up traffic. We've been doing virtual box offices for sport clients for years. I know a lot of tour operators and a lot of attractions and activities have like walk-up kiosks that you can buy from. But what if someone's already at one? What's the friction of waiting in queue to buy an automated ticket off of a kiosk? By having QR codes set up, we know that you're ready to buy, and we can actually have the ticket agent like set up to know exactly what the entry point is, right? So if it's a mobile box office and you're like, I want to hit the QR code because I'm ready to buy tickets now, we can set them up to actually convert for that specific use case. We've got a company right now that's playing around with using this as a virtual concierge throughout hotels in the different cities that they're in. Us knowing that that's where it's going to be used, we can set up the campaign internally for that ticket agent to understand the type of customer that it's going to be dealing with. All 3 of those scenarios, the conversation is going to be slightly different. The key result might still always be to sell a ticket, but how we get there will be a little bit different in the process.
Awesome. Well, again, just a quick reminder, we still have a couple of minutes. So if you have any questions, again, you can drop them in the comments through the webinar link or LinkedIn under this live stream as well. And we do see them. We will see them right in front of us here with Dan. Something I wanted to add that maybe is a bit Ventrata specific, but what I like about your implementation is that we work together to make it work as a what essentially is a Ventrata checkout. So for our users on the Ventrata side, it's not, you won't see bookings coming in through the Satisfi Labs chat interface. You won't see them as a, hey, this is a reseller or third-party bookings. They will essentially act just like your direct web bookings in a system. You'll just create a separate web checkout in a system that will kind of be something behind the Satisfi Lab solution, which I think it is pretty cool because it is still a direct sale.
I think
that's also important on the reporting side.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point, Dominic, because I mean, in my prior career, I worked for a tour operator and we played very heavy on the distribution side. If I could raise my direct sales channel by a few percentage points, it meant that my overall distribution cost went down. Converting direct sales channels is where it's at. And that's how you actually play even bigger in the distribution game, is because you have more room to play with, because you're converting higher for those direct channels that you're not paying the huge commissions out, which you need. I mean, you need all the channels that you can get, especially in the business that we're in. But if you can convert the direct ones at a higher rate, that pays for itself.
Exactly. Would you have a question come in here while we're discussing this from Chirag from Golden Tours? So Chirag is asking whether you guys have ability to edit bookings on request to the chats as well. I don't remember, Dan, if this was part of the initial implementation we already have live or not. Maybe you remember.
It does it in a couple ways. So if you're in the buying process and you need to edit, you can edit as you go, right? So if I say I have 2 adults, 2 children, and I get kind of far down, and then I go, oh, you know what? My wife doesn't want to go. It's just going to be me and the 2 kids. You don't have to start over. It will adjust and make that edit live. Now, the next phase of the integration is being able, with existing tickets, being able to go in. It doesn't do that yet, and that's something that I know both you and I and Ollie and the team at Satisfi Labs talked about. We wanted to make sure that we could get purchases completed, sell more tickets. Next phase of this will be to be able to go in and edit current reservations. I have a reservation for tomorrow. I would like to change or cancel said tour. That's where we're going to go with this. But right now, this is about the ticket purchase process.
Cool. And I think, that's a valid point. Like, I think we've really invested a lot of efforts, I think, into initial implementation. What I think is really, really powerful there is you guys also built quite a deep integration with Adyen, right? Ventrata payments processes there. So you can really take, payments, pretty much all payment methods that are supported can be supported on a regular Ventrata checkout. Pretty much the same can be done within the chat interface that you guys power. And in my experience working with integration similar to that, that's one of the most complex bits there. So, like adding added feature, to that, it's available already on our API. I think, once I have more users kind of using that, it will be easy to implement something like that, given that the harder challenges have been solved already.
Yeah, the most intricate part was getting that first part finished. Everything else is connections there. We can actually move a lot faster on phase 2 of this. The payment process was the most probably intricate and had the most challenges. But we do feel that that's the most important, right? Like
it is, yeah.
To really truly cut friction out of the process and pass that token to the payment processing is where it's about. I see another question follow up on how the chatbot works. Yeah, we can answer FAQs. We build a full knowledge volume of your entire company. The bot can live anywhere that you want it to. It can be on all pages. We can customize those pages. If it's on a contact us page, it should have a different feel to it, right? Because if you're there, we know that you want to contact someone. So it's going to be more of a guest services resolution type of scenario where if you're on the home page or using a QR code, we know the goal is to sell you something, right? To sell you a ticket or sell you some ancillary products.
Awesome. And the one more question here from Chirag as well is about the upsells, right? So whether the upsells will work according to basically the upsells defined in Ventrata, because we do have an interface where you predefine in Ventrata for this product, like to upsell to these products and cross-sell to these products, or will it differ from that? I don't remember, Dan, if we discussed that already for kind of what are your plans are, whether you're going to use the recommendations Ventrata provides in configuration, we provide an API for us, or whether you have something more interesting, maybe AI-driven plan there.
I mean, honestly, that's a difficult question to ask because it's going to be different per operator. Having the flexibility to meet the operator's results and goals is where we'll lean into on the implementation or even on the sales side of like, how do you want this to work? Because someone will say, no, we want it to be this way. And some will say, we want it to be the other way. Even looking at the complexity of the tour and attraction business as a whole, there's some that have a lot of products within the system, but they want them to show a certain way. So it really depends on per operator. And those are the conversations that you'll have with us when we get into like a demo situation, because they do differ.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Dan, for your presentation, the answers as well. We are, I think, 5 minutes over time, but yeah, we did have great questions there. I do want to once again show the QR code, though, the one that you had in your last slide here. So yeah, if those of you who want to learn more about Satisfi Labs, feel free to just scan this QR code and fill out a form and get in touch with Dan and his team. Integration with Ventrata is now live. If you do go to the connections, click new connection and see our beautiful partner gallery, you will now already see Satisfi Labs integration listed there as live. And we do have a new help desk article already kind of summarizing what is supported, what's not supported with this integration, and how you can set up everything that's needed on the Ventrata for this. So yeah, Dan, once again, thanks for joining this webinar, and thanks for everyone else for watching.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dominic. I really appreciate it. And come talk to us, have a demo, and we'll show you how this can work for your business.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.